I've been playing a game that's available for playtest this week, and let me tell you, this game slaps harder than Will Smith. Imagine our childhood favorite Skyrim modded to a Tarkov format. It's being created by a small team of devs doing everything they can to get the game up to par for a rapidly growing fanbase. This is Dark and Darker. Dark and Darker is a first-person RPG loot extraction game, where the main objective is surviving the darkness and escaping dungeons through a blue portal to take all your newfound loot back to your stash. But there's a catch. There are a limited number of extractions in the first level of the dungeon and 16 players total per game, meaning some potentially get left behind or forced to go down to the next level through the red portals. From there, when you make it to the end of that level, you still have to find one more to extract from the area. Alright, I may have made that sound complicated, but it's actually not too bad. The game itself is pretty hard and unforgiving at times, however the concept and objective isn't overcomplicated. It's actually rather simple, but has a very fun and addicting gameplay experience. With all that said, the game's in alpha right now and is only available for a week, so everything you're about to see is not the end result and will most likely have some differences when they release the full game next year. Also, I'm going to try to do weekly indie game breakdowns, so subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Anyway, you decide whether you'd venture into the dungeon alone or with a squad of up to 3 players total including you. Then you have 6 different classes to form your team from before your adventures. Cleric, Fighter, Wizard, Rogue, Barbarian, or Ranger. Each class has different skills and abilities that can benefit you and your team in game. For example, the Rogue starting skill allows invisibility for a brief time. You can use this to get behind the enemy or to escape intense situations. Then you have classes like the Cleric, which are heavily team-based roles and a very good addition to the team. As you make your way into the game, you'll come across various sources of loot. Chests, barrels, urns, mobs, and other players found in the dungeon all have the potential to drop in-game items. There are also separate tiers to the items you find, and item drops are RNG based. Unless you're PvPing players, then you just get to loot their items. As we've seen in gaming for years now, it seems like the different tiers go in a color grading format of gray, white, green, blue, purple, and then orange. Where gray items are the most common, least valuable, and do the lowest damage, orange is the strongest, rarest, and most valuable. Also, the best loot is found on the high-end level, which has a fee of 75 gold to even enter. Now that you have some loot in the game, you gotta take it back to the merchants to sell it. Each merchant buys different goods, so you have to go through and get an idea of who buys what. Collector's gonna buy more of your valuables, where the treasurer will trade in gold for the silver coins you find. You wanna save your high-end gear for the traders area. In most cases, even if it doesn't work for you, someone will give you more for it than the merchants will. Open the trade menu of your choice and shift-click the item you want to trade, then wait for a trade request. If you happen to see an item go by you want while you're waiting, right-click the player's name and open a trade. From there you can chat with them and offer on the piece that they're trading. Along with the loot, mobs come in tiers too. You have your standard mobs like skeletons, zombies, and bats, but occasionally you'll encounter one with a red tint to it. That's an elite mob, more health and better drop rates. Oh, and there's many bosses in the game that'll absolutely smoke you. But that's pretty much a summary of the game at its current state. Now I'm going to play some of my highlights from the playtest so far so you can decide whether it's worth a download or
not. You're getting shot through the crack.
I hit him in the head.
I'm going to let his buddy pass. Alright, I'm going for the flank.
The other guy might die to a trap.
I looted his buddy's pockets and I'm dipping. I'm sorry, boys.
Man, I died. That was fun.
Ow. God.